This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on 39 Dunedin News, corporate events are making big money for the city, and one DCC team says it can make even more. The condition of surf breaks around our coastline come into focus, with local data being used to help form government policy. And is New Zealand Music Month still relevant? We find out what some in the local industry say. Good evening, Dunedin. I'm Rebecca Dupree. Business events held in the city are contributing about $50 million to the economy each year. Data on the growing sector is being collated by the Dunedin City Council's Enterprise Dunedin team, and staff believe they can generate even more income from the corporate world.
Bringing in the big bucks. Dunedin's reputation as an international conference destination is increasing, adding $55 million to the city in the last financial year. Enterprise Dunedin staff have been presenting detail to the Dunedin City Council's Economic Development Committee today.
It's a huge increase on previous years. At the moment we're tracking, I guess, with a national average. The 2 years previous to this, we've had very strong growth with the opening of the Dunedin Centre and Town Hall again after a large refurbishment. Jones believes strategic partnerships, like with the University of Otago, benefit both organisations and the city as a whole. One example was a global summit of academics that Enterprise Dunedin worked on bringing to the city, with help from local scientist and researcher Liz Sluton. We worked with her very closely to bring the Marine Mammalogy Conference here in December 2013, and that brought in 1,300 delegates from around 40 different countries to the city for a 6-day period. So obviously a huge economic impact. Jones acknowledges the main issue is the availability of 4- and 5-star accommodation during peak times, but she says the Distinction Hotel is helping. Enterprise Dunedin's looking to boost the city's corporate profile further, generating more spin-off business for locals. Daryl Baser, 39 Dunedin News.
Campus Watch staff are going door to door in the student quarter this week following a flat fire in Castle Street. 3 people were injured when the blaze broke out in the flat made famous by former occupants and members of the band 660. The house at 660 Castle Street is being monitored by security guards after a man was found trying to steal a television following the fire. The blaze occurred about 6:30 a.m. on Saturday when an occupant was forced to jump from a second-storey window to safety. He broke an ankle and has had surgery on his burnt and lacerated hands. Smoke alarms had been removed and put into a cupboard at the flat, so Campus Watch staff are educating students about their importance. While coastal erosion continues to plague authorities and concern residents, attention is turning to the condition of local surf breaks. Surfers and other stakeholders gathered at St Clair on Saturday for a workshop about protecting valued ocean assets. And data collected in Dunedin is set to inform government policy.
Making the most of local waves. Surfers love Dunedin's coastline, and that's been the centre of discussion at a weekend workshop in St Clair. A small crew attended the event organised by the National Surf Break Protection Society.
Really, it's a lot of back and forth about really educating what we're up to here, what kind of data we're trying to collect and how it'll be used to develop the guidelines.
Those guidelines are to help shape part of the government's coastal policy statement in relation to protecting nationally significant surf breaks. In Dunedin, the waves at Aramoana and Whareakiaki, or Murderers, are in the spotlight. Information about the breaks is being gathered so they're not threatened by land and harbour development.
Dunedin is right up there with the best area for surfing in New Zealand.
Technology was showcased to surfers, demonstrating how data about speed and distance on certain waves can be recorded through wearable devices. Rip Curl's partnering with the Society on this project and is providing 3 special watches for main surfers at each significant break.
We'll get that data, and that'll be part of the information that'll help us to characterise some of the features of the breaks.
Workshops have also been held at Piha, Lyle Bay and Wainui in Gisborne. Society members are heading to Whangamata and Raglan next. Rosie Mannins, 39, Dunedin News.
The owner and staff of Brighton's Dairy are dealing with the aftermath of a robbery in which the assailant was armed with a screwdriver. They say a chubby Maori man believed to be in his 30s or 40s held up the shop at about 7 p.m. last night. He fled carrying a few $100s in cash from the till. The man was wearing a red bandana over his face, as well as glasses and an NBA basketball cap. There have been several reports of theft in Brighton lately, and people are wondering if the cases are linked. Police are investigating the robbery. It's 16 years since the New Zealand Music Commission established May as New Zealand Music Month. The concept is all about supporting homegrown talent and raising the profile of Kiwi artists. And while local musicians say it's still relevant, they're calling for the Commission to address ongoing issues.
Studying the charts. Dunedin music veteran Dr. Graham Downs is continuing to support local artists. He was one of the leaders of the loosely termed Dunedin sound, which rose from the city in the early 1980s. These days, he leads the degree in rock music at the University of Otago and believes New Zealand Music Month is still necessary.
I think it's a good thing for people to celebrate, to do the type of enterprise that was on at the Public Library Sunday week ago and ongoing. I think it's, especially, a lot of people commented that it was great for families to be able to come along and kids to be able to see a real musician as opposed to hear it coming out the radio in the car or whatever.
Dr. Downs has pretty blunt reasons why he believes national support for New Zealand musicians is still necessary.
We've got a pretty amazing reputation in terms of quality output per head of population, and and a long history of it as well. So the more troops that are on the boots on the ground now, sort of saying, hey, we're still here and we're still really good at this, keeps everything moving.
His sentiments are shared by one of his former students, singer and vocal teacher Danielle Eriksson.
If we didn't have Music Month, there wouldn't be a time dedicated to music. I think that having a month of music brings people that don't normally go out of their way for music out into bars to listen to local musicians.
With the New Zealand Music Industry Commission being based in Wellington and mostly available via email, some local artists can feel disconnected. That's something Eriksson believes the organisation could address.
I would ask them to focus more on local acts. Like, I have looked on the NZ Music Month website and it has got plenty of local things. But I mean, really getting involved instead of advertising 660 and all the Dave Dobbin and all the people we already know.
Her basic take-home message, like that of many musicians, is the more exposure, the better. She says if Music Month helps more people to see and hear Kiwi artists they're not aware of, then that's a good thing. Daryl Baser, 39, Dunedin News.
And Independent Music New Zealand is holding a workshop for local musicians in Dunedin tonight. Still to come on 39 Dunedin News, tertiary students support some intellectually disabled residents in a glamorous way, and Otago's table tennis players dominate in a South Island championship.
Dog with Two Tails Cafe and Bar on Moray Place, proud supporters of New Zealand Music Month May 2016.
Hi, this time of year we like to keep our customers warm and comfortable, and we sell a lot of moleskins and we've got them all on special. Check out these, Tussock Creep, 2 weights and they're a great price. We also sell Lee stretch moleskins, 5 different colours, short and regular. Great buy, moleskins, Alex Campbell Menswear, 3 stores.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
New Zealand Beeswax Limited are the quintessential beeswax, woodwear and beekeeping suppliers. From the amateur beekeeper to the commercial operator, New Zealand Beeswax Limited has the quantity to meet your needs. For great prices, great service New Zealand-wide, contact New Zealand Beeswax Limited on 03 693 9189 or visit www.beeswax.co.nz. For professional, reliable and approachable service where your dream kitchen design can become an affordable reality, contact the team at Kitchens for Less. Call 455 9973 or visit us online.
It's on again. The Star Regent 24-hour book sale starts noon 10th of June. Don't miss out!
Are you within your legal rights to take one life in order to save another? Welcome to the ambiguities of law. Because whilst the law may be clear, there is still room for both yes and no.
What? No!
The decision will depend on logical thinking and the art of argument. And this is what we learn at New Zealand's first and world-renowned law faculty.
You can stop now!
I'm Latafale, and this is my place in the world.
Take your place in the world.
We're a 25 Moray Place at Dog with Tails Cafe and Bar. So we take coffee very seriously. We do what's called contract roasting, so we're creating our own roasting profile and then doing our own blends. We're really focused on the craft of what we're doing. You know, we're going back, instead of going on mass-produced sort of cheap things, we're taking the time to really craft what we're making. Make it so anyone can come here and have a feed and be able to get something they're able to eat or that they want to eat as well. You're kind of getting a taste of cafes from all around the world when you come here.
Pregnant? Need to talk? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Pregnancy counselling services are here to help. It's free, it's confidential. Call us now on 0800 773 462.
Oamaru's Fire and Steam is a unique family event coinciding with the Steampunk New Zealand Festival. Fire and Steam is being held Friday the 3rd of June from 6:30pm till 9pm. The festival is to celebrate fire, steam, sound, light and music. Harbour Street will come alive. An annual event not to be missed.
Welcome back. Fonterra is releasing some money to dairy farmers earlier than usual to help those struggling with the industry's downturn. A dividend of 10 cents per share is being paid on the 7th of June to be followed by an equal payout in August. But that's subject to financial performance continuing at the current level. The company is forecasting a 3% reduction in seasonal milk collection overall. This year's payout is set to be 40 cents per share in total. And on that note, let's take a look at today's financials. The NZX 50 has closed the day down 2 points. It's now at 6,914. The Dow Jones is down 185 points. To the exchange rates, the Kiwi dollar is down against the Australian and the pound, but we are up slightly against the greenback, the yen and the euro. First year Otago Polytechnic students are supporting local charities and helping residents with intellectual disabilities. The occupational therapy students have just held a ball as one of 6 planned events, and senior lecturer James Sunderland is here to tell us more. Good evening.
Good evening.
What is this group of students up to?
Well, there are around 60 students down here, and we do also have another campus up in Hamilton that runs the same bachelor's program. So in total there's about 100 students. Down here in Dunedin, it's one of the beauties of being involved in the Polytech is that we've got a really experiential learning philosophy. So these students have been charged with making a difference in their local community, and they've been out there taking that theme and organising a number of events really and running with them.
Is it a new initiative?
It's not a new initiative. It's probably been going for various forms since the school really began. But it has grown a lot in the last few years really.
Tell us about the ball and who it was for.
So the ball was for idea services. So those particular students They knew that there were members of Idea Services that had some ballroom dancing that they'd been doing in the last wee while, and they thought, well, you know, let's organise a ball. So that idea initially was really big, but we ran with it really, and that was one of the benefits of having access to places like the Sargood Centre, which people will know as the old art gallery in Logan Park. So we had free access to that. The students are given a limited budget that they can use, and they really stepped up and made that happen. Yeah, put a lot of hours into that event.
How many people were involved?
There was 10 students, so each of those groups, you know, 60 divided by 6 is 10 students each, but they also, because the event got large, drew in some of their other classmates who are involved in doing other events on different nights. So around 15 students, so the 10 core and 5 helpers, around 70 members of Idea Services, and about 30 caregivers from Idea Services as well.
Fabulous. What do you think the guests got from it?
I think with all of these workshops, it's about providing, you know, a meaningful, purposeful, normal experience. So, you know, we don't look at it as being therapy. It is just providing something that strengthens that community and gives everyone that came to the ball a night out, I suppose. The students are also following up, so they've made a record of that night. They had a photo booth on the evening, and they're giving them back those photos in a bound photo album as well.
And this isn't the only way that your students are helping the community.
No, it's not. So of those 6 workshops, we had 3 that had a basis around making products. So each of those groups chose a charity or an organisation. So we had a group that made winter warmers for the Otago night shelter. So they made bean bags and wheat bags and, you know, door stoppers, things to help out student flats and whoever else wanted to come to that event. We had people that made candles, so they ran a candle making workshop that attracted people that wanted to learn that, and they sold those candles for profit. We went to the Cancer Society. We had people that made dream catchers, and that money went to autism. And we had a quiz night last Wednesday night for the Otago Physio Pool.
Wow.
And they had around 90 people came and raised close to $1,000 for that as well.
Gosh, they've been busy.
They have been very busy.
What are they getting out of it?
What are they getting out of it? And I suppose this goes back to being a Polytech and saying, look, we don't want just to give you information and to get that information back to us in the form of an assessment or an exam or a test. We want you to go out there and, as occupational therapists, really think about, well, your core job there is to provide meaningful, purposeful occupation for people in their lives that may have had disability or accident. So here's a chance for them to really analyse an event, really plan for success, carry it out, problem solve, group work with each other. So for some of them, they come with a lot of experience, so they might take a lead. For others, it might be about following as well. So yeah, it's a very rich learning experience for them.
Otago Polytechnic Senior Lecturer James Sunderland, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.
After the break on 39 Dunedin News, we take a look at some of the sporting action over the weekend, including locals winning big at table tennis and runners preparing for some important competitions.
Sir Bob Charles, New Zealand's greatest golfer and still going strong.
I'm sure that Sportsville was a contributing factor to my success, and I'll continue to use it.
Sir Bob Charles Sportsville, a product so good he puts his name to it.
Well, I believe Sportsville helps maintain your quality of life.
Now being used by active men and women globally to support strength and mobility.
It works for me. Sir
Bob Charles Sportsville in the new all-black pack. Call now for the Sportsville special. 0800 502 402.
Finding that your grass seed just won't grow? Ready Lawn has the perfect solution for all those lawn woes. Call Ready Lawn today on 486 1819.
We're a 25 Moray Place. Dog with Tails Cafe and Bar. So we take coffee very seriously. We do what's called contract roasting, so we're creating our own roasting profile and then doing our own blends. We're really focusing on the craft of what we're doing. You know, we're going back, instead of going on mass-produced sort of cheap things, we're taking the time to really craft what we're making. Make it so anyone can come here and have a feed and be able to get something they're able to eat or that they want to eat as well. You're kind of getting a taste of cafes from all around the world when you come here.
I understand now how economics can affect global warming.
And I found out how grass growth in New Zealand affects Fashion Week in Milan.
I can even tell you how smartphone technology affects the survival of mountain gorillas.
Sorry.
Because at the Otago Business School, it's not just about the world of business, it's how business affects the world.
I'm Kim. Michaela.
David. And this is our place in the world.
Take your place in the world.
Hi, this time of year we like to keep our customers warm and comfortable, and we sell a lot of moleskins and we've got them all on special. Check out these, tussock creep, 2 weights and they're a great price. We also sell Lee stretch moleskins, 5 different colours, short and regular. Great buying, moleskins, Alex Campbell Menswear, 3 stores.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Dog with Two Tails Cafe and Bar on Moray Place. Proud supporters of New Zealand Music Month, May 2016.
Oamaru's Fire and Steam is a unique family event coinciding with the Steampunk New Zealand Festival. Fire and Steam is being held Friday the 3rd of June from 6:30pm till 9pm. The festival is to celebrate fire, steam, sound, light and music. Harbour Street will come alive. An annual event not to be missed.
Here's something else to look forward to sinking your teeth into every weekend with the Otago Daily Times, the Weekend Mix, your guide to what's hot in fashion, entertainment, food and more. New weekend magazine in your ODT. Pick up your copy this Saturday.
Welcome back. Locals are at the top of their game in table tennis, winning several titles at the South Island Championships. The tournament was held in Dunedin over the weekend when a range of Otago players dominated their categories. And now they're gearing up for more competition.
Serving up success. Dunedin table tennis players were carving up the competition at the Edgar Centre over the weekend for the South Island Championships.
The standard's probably not as high as top national level, but it's not far behind.
There were 91 players in total, about half of which were locals. Duffy won the Open Men's Doubles with Otago Polytechnic student Julian Molesberger, who also won the Open Men's Singles. And local domination continued in other categories.
There was probably an upset today in the under-18 boys, with local boy Tom Henderson beating Alex Zhao from Canterbury.
Several athletes are now gearing up to represent Otago at the South Island Teams contest in Timaru next month. Duffy says they'll be working on all aspects of their game in preparation.
You have to be physically fit and you have to be pretty mentally fit as the day wears on. It's just about having enough in the tank physically and mentally to do the simple things well.
A few players weren't able to make the tournament because of an accommodation shortage, as Dunedin was chocker with a graduation and rugby match. The association says table tennis is a growing sport in the city, with a lot of juniors taking it up. Rosie Mannins, 39, Dunedin News.
Young runners are bracing cooler temperatures as they begin training for key competitions. Dozens of school children clocked up kilometres during an Athletics Otago event at the weekend, and coaches say there are several talented competitors taking it all in their stride.
Keeping on track with their training, Dunedin school children have been participating in a cross-country running exercise at Rotary Park above Waverley. It was part of a new winter series organised by Athletics Otago in association with local clubs and Sport Otago.
So that children get experience at running cross-country, have fun and get used to it, and also leading up to their primary and intermediate cross-country champs.
That's happening at the start of September. 5 to 13-year-olds are involved in the cross-country training, which is being staged in 5 different parts of the city, including Mosgiel, for the first time.
The children will be training firstly for their school cross-countries, which are getting held from now right through the 3rd term, leading up towards the zone cross-countries, the school zones, and then the Otago primary and intermediate school cross-country champs in September.
She says there's some promising talent in Dunedin with top runners in every age category. These guys also took the opportunity to celebrate World Athletics Day. Knox says the sport builds core skills among children for all kinds of activity.
They learn how to run, jump and throw. And so it's a really good base sport for children to be involved in, even if they want to play other sports as they get older.
Participation in local cross-country training is growing, and organisers are happy to be hosting eager runners on increasingly chilly days. Rosie Mannins, 39, Dunedin News.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on 39 Dunedin News. Business events are bringing about $50 million into the city each year, and Enterprise Dunedin staff aim to improve that. Local surfers are helping members of a national society to protect Dunedin's best surf breaks and shape government policy. And musicians say New Zealand Music Month is still needed 16 years on, as some artists feel disconnected within the industry. Well, it's time now to find out what's going to be in Tuesday's Otago Daily Times, and Phil Somerville joins us. Good evening.
Yes, hi Rebecca. There's a couple of travel pages, and on the first one, river cruises in Europe. They're very popular these days, and it's about travelling down the Rhine.
Very nice. It's on my wish list.
Oh yes, yes, yes. As we were discussing it before, and a bit more personal than the big cruise boats.
But I need to win lotto for that first.
I'll put the order in.
Thank you.
Right. St John's forced to single crew ambulances, according to a memo, an internal memo. So look out for that story. More about the chubby thief who, with a screwdriver, robbed a dairy in Brighton. Appears that he might have been considering Caversham first. So look for that story. And Captain Cook reopening in about a week, and new style and new things going on there. So that'll be of some interest, certainly to lots of former students from Otago University.
Details in tomorrow's Otago Daily Times. Thank you, Phil. Time now for local weather.
This 39 Dunedin News weather update proudly brought to you in association with Silverhorn's Emu Oil.
And here is today's city view. It's taken of Unipole. Around the city at 3 o'clock today, a tad cooler with 13 degrees for both the central city and the gardens, 14 for the Taieri. To the situation, and a strong cool west to southwest flow is blowing over New Zealand this week. Several cold fronts and troughs of low pressure will also move rapidly over the country too. One of them's out there right now. To the forecast for the main towns on the lower South Island for tomorrow, nor'westers with rain later on for Invercargill, Gore and Alexandra, all on 14, and strong nor'westers in Tiana with rain later, 13 degrees. And nor'westers with late rain for Queenstown, Oamaru, Wanaka and Twizel, and highs of between 13 and 15 degrees. In Dunedin tonight, showers, but they will clear. Tonight's low is 8 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny periods at first, but high cloud will increase and nor'westers will freshen. We can expect a little bit more rain at night, 14 degrees. And on Wednesday, showers clearing with sou'westers easing, a high though of just 10. And finally to the Otago Pallet Fires tidal and fishing information. Low tide tomorrow morning is at 7:10. High tide follows shortly before 1 o'clock. And fishing conditions are expected to be reasonable tomorrow. The pick of the bunch time-wise is at around 9 a.m. Good luck with that. And that's all from a team here at 39 Dunedin News for Monday. We'll see you again tomorrow. Good night.
This 39 Dunedin News Bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.